Sweet. Well, it is March 7th. There's a you and there's a me. Just going to read out our OKRs for best practice. Number 1 is to become a trusted partner to post-secondary institutions and businesses. Number 2 is to provide to provide user experience that cultivates impactful change. And number 3 is to build a world-class community of ambitious people. These need to sound a little bit smoother, but yeah, I like them. Our key results, I still need to spend time on one of them, but partner satisfaction over 90%. Successfully launched 9 partnerships across 3 post-secondary institutions. One might be worth revising. And CSAT, customer satisfaction over 90%. Blank, and then 1,500 active members, and last 40% growth month over month. Definitely time to start looking at that month over month growth and seeing if that makes sense and what that requires, more or less. Yeah, cool. So in terms of agenda, we both added stuff already. Looks pretty full. In terms of solutions, I do want to go over new sales funnel. And what else do I want to go over? Commission structure. The messages that you want redone. I want to approach with a fresh mind after having gone through those first 2 things. And what else? What else? Yeah, I think we're good. Do you have any other things that you want to spend time driving a solution to?
That's probably the main one there. So
Cool. Do I? No. Don't think so. Yeah, I'm gonna put growth plan. This is slightly jumping ahead, but I'm gonna say it at the beginning and then go back to it, which is just feedback for myself. I'm used to having to prepare for these meetings, like more than 12 hours in advance. And I just decided that I'm going to implement something similar for my own purposes because I really always hate the feeling of putting this stuff together during the actual meeting time. It's not professional. But with that said, are we good on the agenda? Cool. And so pulse check. I'll sit down for this. How you doing? Fine. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe food. Eating shitty food. I've been eating eggs every morning.
You think eggs is shitty food?
No, not eating eggs is shitty food.
But you have been eating eggs.
No, I haven't been eating eggs this week.
Oh, why?
I don't know. I just haven't eaten like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or like I had like cereal this morning at one point.
Okay. Okay.
That's been fun.
My first guess would be the gym, making you tired because you're spending more time there and going harder. But cool, research that, I guess. What else is going on?
Everything else is fine. Nothing else is actually bothering me. The other stuff with like like Jesse and them, I just haven't been addressing this week because I'm just gonna do it at the end of the week once it's done, and that honestly hasn't been bothering me the slightest.
What do you think you actually have to do for that per se?
Literally just take time into actually entertaining the messages that were sent to me and responding, and that just requires thought that I don't want to put to words at the moment. So I'm just not. It's honestly, I've already discussed it with Lucas. It's beneath me, so I'm not going to jeopardize my workday to entertain that. Once I'm on the weekend, I'll entertain it. But until then, it's honestly just not worth it. These are not high priority relations I have going on anyways. So for me to take it off for a few days, I honestly could care less.
The savagery. All right.
It is honestly savage, but that's generally how I feel. So that's why I haven't been addressing it and not cared to.
Yeah, heard.
How about yourself?
I'm pretty good. Definitely feeling a bit overwhelmed this week. Um, good in general, though. I feel like we're both doing good work and like genuinely moving the needle forward, which feels really good. I'm also happy with the quality of work getting done. And yeah, I mean, not every week's going to feel amazing, and I'm in touch with that. There's no particular reason why it doesn't this week, I don't think, anyways. Um, Other than I had another little eczema outbreak, and that usually ruins my mood a bit. Um,
How badly?
Not bad, not as bad as the last time, but bad enough that it's like uncomfortable, and
It's
it's
not.
just like a bothersome thing during the day. Um, it definitely like takes up mental energy, which is annoying. It's not like it hurts or it's drastically uncomfortable. It's like just uncomfortable enough that it grabs your attention throughout the day.
Like wearing a slightly less comfortable sweater.
Maybe a little worse than that, but close. Yeah. Um, yeah. Not sure what else to say. Let me think about life. I had some really good conversations this week, actually, from last weekend on.
I have noted that.
Um, really good conversations, and just internal thinking has been good. I feel like there's definitely like a there's like idea generation, and then there's implementation, and like I live in idea generation, like I live there. That's my zone of genius. Not that I can't do the other things, but that like that's where the heavy lifting is in terms of cognitive ability. So it's natural for me to want to be there. Um, and it's definitely like, I don't call it an Achilles heel per se, but it's definitely like a thing that I have to like get myself into to do the like actual pushing the needle forward um, part of it, which is why I make a great manager and a great leader, director, etc. Because that's where I'm best. But I actually have to do the work as well, and I'm excited to. It's just there's so much thinking to do, So it's not like think and then do, think and then do. It's like
Think, do a little. Think, do a little.
or something in between. Yeah. So admittedly, because there's so much to think about, like I'm always thinking about the entire company and not just where we are now, but where we want to be. I'm thinking about the priorities that I have marked urgent and the ones that I have marked important. And then I'm thinking even about you while you're doing your stuff and like yeah, it's just a lot. But it's good. I love it. It's just, every week's a little bit different. Um yeah. So that's good. That's that.
How was the audit? I know originally you had planned to audit a bunch of the people in your network. I haven't really seen much of that.
Yeah, I haven't spent much time on. I've been talking to people about it, and I've been thinking about it, but I realized that I want to do um, I want to do it properly. So in addition to like spending time, like putting names together, I also want to do I also want to do like I want to post some form of content in the next couple of days, um, like advertising it, letting people know, and something that we can also use in our talking to people. So when I reach out, I don't just want to be like, "Hey, I'm throwing an event." I want to be like, "Hey, I'm throwing an event. Here's the video. Share the video. Fill out the survey. Blah blah blah." Or just, you know, I want it to be a bit more organized than just messaging people. So I've been doing a lot of thinking and planning in terms of um, what that should look like and what the video should look like. We'll do a draft of it, either like during or immediately after this meeting, and
This meeting is going to be not necessarily spent, depending on how long the meeting goes. Yes.
yeah. So yeah, I forget what we were talking about, but oh yeah, the young professor. Like yeah, I really want us to have a successful month, and so I'm thinking about doing things properly, not just doing them. It's not procrastination, but I do need to be conscious of how much time I spend ideating versus pushing the needle forward. I'm glad that I didn't, and I don't. I don't feel like crazy off track. I just feel like I need to start acting more. But there's just always shit to do, so it's an ongoing thing. But yeah, I've cleared my plate in a lot of ways by doing what I did to start the week. Um, so it is what it is. It's going to be the full focus of the rest of the week for me. I'm also like, I was going to say this after the meeting, but um, like I'm going to be gone for sure all day tomorrow and most of Saturday. Like if I come back on Saturday, it'll be late. So I might just make plans to stay out on Saturday too and come back on Sunday because I'm coming back from Niagara and then gonna meet up with Josh for like a birthday dinner thingy in Hamilton. Might see my mom. I'm not really sure. There's still
Do you
like
need the TV?
which wouldn't fit in a car, far less a bus. But
Bus, it would definitely fit in a car.
um,
It depends on whether you're going to fight off the crackheads trying to steal this TV from you.
yeah, it's like it's a 70-inch
That
TV.
being said,
So
no, that's fine. I'm gonna keep myself busy tomorrow. Besides the messages and stuff I need to get done, I think tomorrow I'm gonna crush getting the survey for young professionals done. That way, moving forward into next week, when we actually start reaching out to your network and my network, we'll have an already form they can fill out with it. So.
yeah, um, that really shouldn't take long. Like honestly, we can.
No, I've been putting it off because it's going to take only a couple hours to do. Like it literally, not
It
even.
shouldn't even take half an hour. Like really, it's the second half of it is all the same. The schedule's all the same. All you're gonna do is get rid of all of the school questions and ask them
About their work and whatnot, but
like
literally,
2 or 3 questions, like tops. Really, the only thing that really matters is what industry they're in, what their position is, and whether or not their company has like an education budget.
how long they've been in their industry for as well. But like
I
basics,
don't, I
it
don't,
shouldn't
I
take
don't
long.
care. Like it doesn't matter. For what do we need that for? I don't know. I'm more interested. I mean, like I guess, but like I don't know. I like every question counts, and especially for young professionals, I feel like what we need to know from them is like what industry they're in, so that we can associate them with people, what position they're in, whether their company has an education budget, and like what their personal budget on education is. Like it makes sense to ask that. Those are basically it. You can literally write them down and just consider it done when you fill it in.
Action items.
Yeah. So what did I just say?
What
Job
industry they're in?
title, industry.
Education budget, and their personal education budget.
Yes. That's literally it. If you want, like an A+ on that activity might be just running that question through ChatGPT and seeing what else it would put in. But like, I don't know. Maybe you'll end up with 2 more questions. But like, I can't see this taking more than 15 minutes, to be honest. But yeah, excited to get going on that. I still haven't heard back from I think his name's Cody, the guy that doing the fundraiser, helping with the fundraiser for. I messaged him. We agreed to do like a interview type thing. That's why I put off doing that video. But then I haven't heard from him since. So that's on ice as well.
Maybe it was all a lie. He lied to you, and then he realized how bad he was being. He became corrective, became a better human. So now he's not contacting you because he's afraid of confrontation.
Yeah, maybe. Yes. All right, let's do a stand up. I can't time it because I'm recording, but it is 2:46. Bang bang.
I have finished 1.5 of the Grow community and have presented the 1.5 of the Grow community for feedback, as you would know. I've connected with more students on LinkedIn, at least 8 to 10, something like that. Only for phase 1, that is. I have finished the 1.5 of the overview, and I have finished uploading all the content I recorded to YouTube. And then there's a giant list of what I'm doing, which is adding to the Grow community from the meeting, and it's just a giant list of everything we went over yesterday. I don't need to really read all of those individually because you already know them. That just saves time. On top of that, it's practice coaching with Lucas. He wants me to go over the prompting using the document that we have. I'll bring him through the process of prompting engineering, so it's going to be some good practice in terms of coaching today. I need to start analyzing some of the content that I've uploaded to get some notes or insights on all of it. And then I also started documenting the results of the current sales funnel that we have. Blockers is I still need to have the phase 2 meeting so I can start sending messages on LinkedIn, which we're going to do, and then make new messages if need be, or at least kind of change the ones we currently have. For feedback is I need to focus on sending more messages moving forward. I want to set up a way to send messages from my phone and do it when I'm at the gym, especially as I wait or whatnot, kind of just filler time. Try and get better sleep schedule to optimize work. I'm also considering doing meal prep for the week moving forward to save time. And the other thing is I'm very tired recently. I need to address this and figure out a solution to what's causing this feeling, crush it, and then move forward efficiently. And then the feedback I gave for you was you look good overall, but you seem slightly drained or has lower energy this week. And you've had a lot of meetings this week. Have these been mainly good, efficient, productive, or taxing, time consuming, and inefficient?
Yeah. Have you been using this lately? Used to?
No.
You should.
Maybe that's why too.
That actually might be why. It significantly changes my day. Like, significantly. I don't know if.
No, seriously. Like
I don't know.
the first thing I thought was nutrition wise. Like
Yeah.
I was not eating like a good egg breakfast as I normally was.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's related. On the on the note of productivity of the meetings, the only one that's felt a little like least productive has been the meetings with Beige. Not that they haven't been productive per se, just that.
Well, I said, can I go through the 3 things I talked about just to kind of clarify this?
Sure.
Because the three things I went over were: are they mainly good, effective, and productive, or are they taxing, time consuming, and inefficient?
Yeah, none of them are taxing.
Okay.
Are
they time consuming?
I mean, by nature, inherently, yes.
And I guess the main thing is the productivity in terms of the efficient meeting, or are they productive, or are they just like we're going through the same thing, being efficient, or they're not as productive for the amount of time that you're spending on it?
Yeah. So, productivity, efficiency feel like synonyms when we're talking about this, if not in general. But I feel like I've been specifically with Bij, he's just like not having an on week. Um, they're the same thing. So like a part of the meetings that we're supposed to spend on tech, we effectively haven't been, and like I've been driving it, and like he hasn't been like working on it really. So
Do you think the meetings are meaningless then, or just kind of chatting?
no, if the meeting didn't exist, then there's no chance anything's getting done, if I'm being honest, right? So the purpose of the meeting is accountability, and we address this. We addressed this in a couple different ways this week. One was like we had a bit of an equity conversation, not about Grow, but about like the Human Performance Lab, because it's like the way that Bij and I are playing that is like because he's looking to start a microservices company, and the Human Performance Lab is a way for him to build microservices out, but also to like to be invested in the success of the company, like building a particular product.
Building his
So-
own or grow?
Pardon?
Do you mean building his own company or yours or grow?
So he's building a microservice company, which is his own company, where he's building solutions for companies, basically like the building blocks of things that you need on the software side, so that he can piece them together, give this company this, give that company that, but like reusing the same tools basically. So that's the microservices company. That's just a Bij thing. And then like him and I are working on the Human Performance Lab, which is a collab, whereas like that collab is using like when he's building the Human Performance Lab, he's also building tools for his microservices that like he would need to build anyways. So it's kind of like in consulting, where like you'll solve something for a client, and then you'll see another client and realize they have similar problems, so you get to use a similar solution, like reuse some of that thinking or some of that productivity.
Like the use of the Humans Performance Lab is also going to be useful in his company. So although it's like you're bringing it forward that we need the Humans Performance Lab done, he's doing it because it's also going to benefit like his own company. He's going to use this tool as well.
Yeah, not so much use the tool as the tech that configures the tool.
Oh, okay.
Now the use of the tool is a whole business in and of itself. Like, where does one use Jack AI? Where does one use this whole suite of services? That's its own business. That's a corporate product. That's like there's a ton of application for that.
So it's like AutoCAD or Photoshop or whatnot. Like there is this program itself, but like how you use it depends on the industry you're in.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've talked about this somewhat, but like it can be fitted in an education setting, in a corporate setting, etc. So, and different use cases, whatever. So like that is its own business. So the development of the Human Performance Lab and all products within that like suite of services, like that's a Bij and I partnership collab that exists separately from Grow, that Grow uses in a revenue share type model. Like that's why he's building it for us without charging us anything.
Because every time it gets used, he'll just get a percentage of it, or
Yeah, basically. So that's that, and then there's Grow. So like he's a partner of Grow in that instance. He's not just like building stuff for Grow. Like he probably will and is in some different capacities, but especially as it relates to the Human Performance Lab.
in that note, then do you think I should change his permissions on the server? Then I didn't realize it was to that extent.
No, like he's invested in the success of Grow, and it
Okay.
all ties together. So
I'm only clarifying for that reason because depending
Yeah,
on it,
yeah.
right? Like it might change.
yeah,
Because for instance, like Cass, for instance, like what she wants to do right now is literally in line exactly with growth. So she wants to work hand in hand.
Yeah.
Giving her those permissions is perfectly fine. So I just wanted to make sure I was on that same boat.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Um, so yeah, that's that. That was one of the conversations. And then another one is just like, not to get too into his personal life like that, but he's just like got a lot going on, you know, and so he's feeling a bit overwhelmed, and so bringing that energy to our calls means we're talking about that instead of talking about other things. And also before and after those meetings, it's the same thing, you know. He's focusing on stuff less because he's focusing on other stuff more. I outlined that as a future like potential problem. We talked about it.
So kind of like the work-life balance.
It's really like, yes. I think more fundamentally, it's like his ability to handle stress, which has gotten a lot better. But you know, like I was just saying about me, every week's different. You
Yeah.
know, so it is
No,
what it is. We're
that's
actually taking. We're gonna meet today, I think, and then we're not meeting all of next week. Next week, Tuesday is his birthday, by the way. So I might want to try to see him on Tuesday. That would be kind of nice. Um, and the week after that, he's like dog sitting at his friend's house for a week, and so might take another week off in relation to that. We'll see. But I'm just in general like concerned with like the purpose of that meeting, and I've explained this to you before. Is like um, I have friends that won't like take the like won't do their own thing that they have the capacity to do without without collaboration. Like the peer support is really what's gonna de-risk it and like provide that motivation.
I see Lucas as someone like that. Like
Yeah,
I'm in the same point where they're just
yeah. So the solve
do something with
is to
him.
do something with them. Exactly.
Right, like Lucas is very able to like go on a podcast, talk his mind, have like really good ideas, bring forth good arguments, be a structured individual, even like be a public speaker, but without the collaboration with somebody else, he won't do it by himself. Right. That's
Yeah,
why I see it's like that's what's nice about incorporating grow with some of the friend groups is like Lucas, I can get this. You'll actually probably make some money because you paid off the cases. Like he won't do it until like I can come forward with a solution and be like, this is how we're gonna do it.
yeah,
Even like engineering, he was like, you know what you're talking about. He's gonna talk to me first about it, and like everything that's on there is essentially just YouTube videos, and but then like personal experience. But even so, I don't.
well, it's more than that, but yes, agreed.
But
And I
even
think
back to the beach thing, that's like that's one thing I like moving into this year, especially recently. I've been changing is like if there's something stressing me in my personal life, I'm just gonna value like how is important this, and if it isn't, I'm just not going to like pay any attention to it until now.
yeah, I'm not in love with that solution, and I do want to like make time when you get back from your concert to just like hang out and talk,
It's not something that's
productively or
super stressing
otherwise.
me. That's why. If it was, I would take time to address it perfectly. That's essentially what it's come down to. Is I know where I'm at in terms of like where it's stressing me, how much is it affecting me. Because it isn't affecting me, I'm not really entertaining it yet. If it was something super serious, like Coco, for instance, was like dying or something, then yeah, you can straight up be like, "Kyle, we need to have a conversation now. This is messing with me, right?"
Yeah, and I know that it's not affecting your work, but it does. Like, I wouldn't not. Yeah, I just because it's not making a mess of things now doesn't mean it's not worth talking about. So I do want to make time to talk about it. In short,
It'll happen when it happens.
I'd like to tonight before because I'm gonna be gone and whatever else. So.
I should be back in like almost the AM, I think,
Oh,
because the concert's not going to end until like 11. Like we're going down, like we're going to the train station for like I'm meeting with Lucas at like 5. Have to pick up Isabel before because she's coming down with us, and then going to like 12. And
oh,
we train down there, which will probably be around there around like 6:30. Get to the concert. Concert's like 7 to 11, and then we have to train back. So
okay, never mind. I mean, we'll probably talk when we get back because I'm having a big chat with Cass tonight about her trip and stuff. So
I will.
we'll see
I'll
what's
see what
next.
it looks like tomorrow morning then.
Yeah.
um, where were we? Oh yes, at the end when I was talking about energy levels and you were telling me about the meetings.
Yeah. Other than that, though, things have been great. Um, yeah. Other than that, things have been great. Was that your
That was
end
my
of
feedback
yours?
for you.
Cool.
It was just a follow up question to kind of see how it was,
Yep.
because it's like an observation to like I just need to know how these meetings are, because when it comes down to it, if they're productive meetings, they're productive meetings. It's not as bad, right?
Yeah.
Like think of it, if you had meetings like you had like we had with Jason all throughout the week, I don't think I'd have any complaints. I feel like dude, all these are awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
mean, all of
Oh,
my meetings are productive. It's not a matter of that so much as um, how productive they are, and like
isn't that the
because they're
level of
also
product? Isn't that what productive means?
yeah. I'm saying like none of them are unproductive. It's just a matter of how productive they are, and like that is basically like the human variability there.
Yeah.
Like I can't talk to Bijou and not have a productive conversation for life. Whether it's because there's like a coaching capacity or we're actually working on something, like it's always good.
It's beneficial. Anyway, let's move on to your stand up because we spent quite a lot on mine.
Yeah. So also just I don't know, I didn't like look at yours and go through it and stuff. But um
Well, the update on
in
doing the
case
reason why I skipped over a vast majority of basically everything from, um, if you look at where I'm highlighting, everything from here to here is we already went through for the meeting and the presentation yesterday. So I just took these notes from there and pasted them.
yeah, this is what I'm getting to with my point is that like the update on done is basically stuff that hasn't been reported yet. So like when I'm doing my list, um like the section on done, like it will never carry over. The stuff on doing either moves to done or it stays where it is, and then if I did something else, then I add it to done. But like um yeah, just wanted to like
I'm
clarify
confused of
that.
how that changes because what I added from what I'm doing now is relative to what happened yesterday when when I had the presentation. So
Yeah,
that wasn't there yesterday at all.
I know. I wasn't correcting you. I was just clarifying that that's how I'm doing it. Like that's how I do the sheet because I didn't look at
Oh,
yours. I just listened. Um, but anyways, my update on done is split the two. We'll get into this shortly, but I split the job description. Like there's two versions of the job description now. I mean, there's one version as of yesterday, and then two as of last night. Um, whereas um, whereas one is more high level and the other is in more detail. I've just like I've actually iterated it three-ish times in the last 24 hours to make sure that it's really clear that it's a part-time opportunity, to make it clear that it's a commission-based opportunity, and then that led to me um, doing work on the commission structure itself, the compensation, compensation structure, and onboarding and training, like what that looks like, because we haven't put a ton of time into that at all, which is outlined as a potential problem. But now we have a V1 there. Also, the whole flow of things is different now. Whereas, like, we're gonna look to have the survey completed while we do the phone screen. Um, in general, I just really like the idea of our interactions with people being personal, and like once we're actually talking to them, there's gonna be way more buy-in than any level of charisma in a message.
there is no level of charisma in a message, honestly, because it's their interpretation of your
Mm,
message.
sure. Um, and then update on doing the young professional audit scripts I want to do with you quickly. Well, it'll go quickly. Analysis of week 10 I haven't gotten to yet. Student union recruitment I haven't gotten to yet. as much as this is a priority, like we have to focus on like making money this month is our biggest focus, is my biggest focus, and so yeah, it
We
took a
also don't
backseat to
need to
that.
recruit them until we decide to go to different schools. Right now with ILAC and Brock, like
Well, no, we're trying to. You're forgetting about our 60-day sprint on the board. There, we're trying to hit as many schools as we can. Um, we need them, or else we're not going to be able to do it. I am going to be reaching out to them um, without that, but like it's more like I'm going to reach out to small schools, starting off with private colleges and working my way up to public while contacting and doing the recruitment for student leaders for public institutions so that we get the support where the numbers are bigger. But like my individual efforts are going to be towards private institutions where they don't have students unions, and hopefully that all makes sense. That's a really, really big, like really big project. Like if I wanted to do that most effectively, I pretty much couldn't do anything else. So I'm, uh, I'm like basically gonna start picking up the in the next week. I'm gonna start picking up with the like private institution contact and and the recruitment, but it's yeah, I don't think it's gonna see the light of day this week. In terms of the community, I would say this is like near done. The thinking on making sure that this community offering is outstanding. Um, there are things like not so much channels, but like regularly scheduled programming that I'm thinking of to incorporate in the community, like the therapy and the CAS inner child stuff, goal setting, Q&A, like office hours, as I've termed them before, career help, etc. All that stuff, regularly scheduled programming for different channels. I think it does make sense for us to. I'm just going to throw some time in the calendar tentatively for Sunday, and we'll move it if we need to. Um, for us to go over that because I have yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking on this and want to get your thoughts on it, etc. Um, what else do I got? Yeah, Zena, that work's not going to see the light of day until I don't have time to be working on creating GPTs right now. Um,
well, that's gonna be a bonus coming later, but it's honestly low priority.
yeah, I would. I mean, it's important and it'll help with like it'll help with a lot of other things, including immediate experience for members. So I am interested in doing it. It is important, just not urgent. And then for the social, most of the thinking is done on this. I feel like it's 85% what I want it to be, maybe 90, but I need to spend the last like 10%. Basically, I'll do that when I'm gone, making sure that that's outstanding. And Jack wants some forecasting done that I just need to slot time and do. In terms of blockers, Cleo's helping with the website. I literally just need to send stuff to Collins to see what his looks like, but I'm gonna get some time with Cleo this weekend, and in the next couple of days, he's gonna be able to. We'll be soft launching the website, and the payment stuff will follow soon
What
after.
do you mean soft launching the website?
I mean, the website will be up, but won't be like advertising that people go to it just yet. Um, logo. I've been having some trouble getting in touch with Jake, the guy that's actually been doing the logo so far. I love the idea of Cleo working on the like non-letter, more like software app style logo version, um, which will be helpful in general. And if anything, he'll just touch up the one that Jake's been working on. And blockers. I got a little distracted by researching and putting thoughts together on the logo. I wouldn't call it a waste of time by any means because it makes my conversation with Khalil more productive. And like just the way that logo development works, the more, I mean, the way that anything works, the more you know about what you want, the better, the better what you're gonna get is. But that's actually been really interesting and fun. Problems, the beige one I mentioned, potential lack of students at ILAC on LinkedIn. And also, this will kind of answer your gym question. Like, you have a list of private institutions downtown. Like, I would say if you're at the gym, like, you have a message copied already for the Connect with Note. Like, just use them, pick a school, bang it out. It's not like you're tracking, like you don't need to track to do that, just hop schools. I've also thinking like it does make sense. You're not recording for some reason, by the way, but it
No, I'm recording. I just went to low power mode.
okay, maybe you want to plug it in. It's also worth considering like at what rate we diversify. Like it makes sense to set up a group of, I don't know, 10 at least, like 10 minimum per school. I'd like to be closer to 15 per school. And then it'll grow to 25 or 30 over the first couple of months. So yeah, I'm basically thinking like we only need to set up 15. Like we need to hire 15 good people, 12, 15 like solid hires for the ambassador program, and then it'll take care of itself. And then we won't have to worry so much about that. Um, ooh. So yeah, that's that. Low survey engagement. We're gonna get to this, but making that a part of the interview just allows the whole interaction to be more natural and personal, intimate, even, um,
How ironic.
which I love.
How ironic. Chris is going to be in an interview tomorrow, and then we're here making interviews for people.
Yeah.
Chris, maybe you should talk to the interviewers.
Did you tell him yet?
No.
Well, you should. Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell him
So
that you want to speak to him and not tell him why.
why? Okay. Anyways, low survey engagement. We're handling that by changing the process. I literally forgot because I haven't had my HR hat on for a while how much people hate homework. Like I don't do this at work, as I mentioned to you before. I would set up a meeting with somebody or with a group of people if I wanted them to fill out a survey rather than just asking them to fill it out.
Am I not allowed to believe you because you did do that first?
Yeah, you can not believe me if you want. Um,
I do believe you, but like,
yeah,
I also just like getting inside your head.
you like trying. um, yeah, head wasn't in the game with that clearly, but we're correcting, which is the point. We've mapped out training for, or we haven't mapped out training for campus ambassadors. I have a V1 of that we'll at least glance at. Feedback for myself, meeting prep, I mentioned that earlier. I'm going to have a rule for myself that I prepare for meetings at least an hour before. And also, I need to book time. I have been writing journal like entries, but I've been using like my conversation with myself on Signal to do that more than I have been writing it in the actual note. And yeah, just being meeting heavy, I feel like I've got a lot to write about and not a lot written in the actual journal. I'm not worried about it because I just need to convert it for the most part, but it is what it is. And then feedback for you, like in general, nothing really, just things that we've mentioned already. Um, I just want you to use every meeting as practice for communication. So just like I noticed, like when you're presenting, or even just like when we're talking, like sometimes it doesn't feel like you're speaking for me to hear. It feels like you're speaking to like get it out. So just controlling pace, and then I don't even think we've met that much, if at all, this week. So this is really just another prompt or like nudge from our last session, but we were talking about the two sides of curiosity, like the context one, and then the like problem solving creative one. I noticed that you put another message together for a solution to your problem, which I love. I want to encourage that and celebrate that, and also bring that to meetings where we're talking about stuff. Um, yeah. So in terms of solutions, the last part or last real part of the meeting, um, the new sales funnel. So in general, actually, let me just show you. While we wait for that, just in general, I'm looking for like the what we have with the our ability to connect with people. I think is good. Maybe worth like brief review, but I think is good enough to get interest, um, because we're getting interest enough at least. Like at the pace that you're moving, how many? It's Wednesday. No, it's Thursday today.
I'm messaging today, but I have like probably 15 to 20 people that are just waiting on me to respond to them at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been projecting that you should be able to get like 35 a week. I think I might have written 40. If you're in between 30 and 40 a week, then like we're going to have our team hired in the next 2 weeks for sure. Probably two teams done in the next 2 weeks. Which I'm good with. And then if they do that, like their benchmark is going to be like 30 or 40 for them to be able to keep working with us, like in terms of a minimum people like added to the community and whatnot. Um, so yeah, I think that pace is good and realistic. Like it's gonna be easier for, well, we'll see. Um, so that connection is good, and then basically, actually, let me just read. So search and identification. Um, Identify potential campus ambassador candidates who are current students or recent grads with a focus on those demonstrating strong interest in personal and professional growth, leadership, community engagement. I mean, that's not all that necessary. Um, we talked about what they should look like, but in general, it's fine. Action: use LinkedIn search and filtering tools to target individuals based on their education, involvement in student organizations, etc. Initial contact and engagement, connect about to introduce them to grow peers in the campus ambassador role. This is where you send the connect with note. Uh, so survey distribution is off the list, not off the list, but moved into the phone screen. So basically, it's like, let me just whiteboard this a bit. So
Are you reading this?
it's not shared. Shared after.
What a guy!
So one, connect with note. Two, send intro to grow, job description, and link to book. phone screen. I'm actually like, I would separate it by saying send an intro to grow in the job description and then ask if they're interested. And then once they say yes, then you send them a link just to make this more conversational and less robotic. And then from there, the phone screen is where we get the survey completed and actually interview them. And then after the phone screen, you'd send them the full job description with details, assuming you like their profile. And if you don't, you enjoyed the interview. And if you didn't, then basically send them to the Discord. You can mention the Discord here.
The grow community. Not just the disc.
But then bring it up again after the phone screen. Yeah, if it didn't go well, then I would move them towards the referral program and say like, hey, good conversation. Honestly, like we've got a lot of strong candidates for the actual job at this point, but an easy way like for me to be able to revisit this conversation with you would be if you got in, actually experienced what our services are like, got some friends on board so that you didn't have to worry about your cost, and like basically show us that you can do this. And that's the referral program's kind of their vehicle to do that. And then number 4, which is only if the job went well. If the interview went well and you just sent them the longer job description, then we do interview number 2.
A second interview.
Yep. And after interview number 2, is an offer and schedule training. Yeah, so basically this is it. Doing it this way means like it didn't even make sense.
There's no sense of them doing the survey without us. Like the survey might as well just be part of the interview.
Yeah, it is. And so the way that this is going to work, which I'll obviously show you in detail later, is when you have an interview, which you'll obviously see me do before you need to do it yourself, is like you're going to have the 2 lists. Like you're going to have the survey and you're going to have the interview Google Sheet, or Google form that you're putting answers into. And you're going to have to hop back and forth, like 1 or 2 questions from one, 2 questions from the other over the course of what we're scheduling for 15 minutes, but it'll probably be a 20-minute interview. And then interview number 2 we'll do together, offer and scheduling, obviously the training we'll do together, and then eventually you'll do. Yeah, so that's that. Any thoughts, questions?
That's good. Should be fine. Ah!
Yes. So
I guess so during the training is where we're going to, like, they're not going to be doing this entire funnel for the training, right? Because we want to get people in the Discord, but they're not going to be wanting to get people in the Discord just based off of them getting a job.
say that again.
Well, like, their job is to get people in the Discord into the Grow Social. Their job is to get people in the Grow Social.
Their job is to what?
Get people to the Grow Social, the Grow community. So this first 2 steps is not going to be valid to them because they're going to be, yo, join this social group, join the community that we're offering and whatnot, right? Like we're gonna need another sales funnel for them for the training. Like their sales funnel, my sales funnel, two different things.
Yeah, this is not even a sales funnel, it's recruitment. You're straight recruiting. You're not even selling anything in this. They will be doing a similar connect with Note. But yeah, obviously it's maybe not obviously, it's going to be very different. Theirs is going to be more service based and more of like a personal connection kind of thing. Remember, the first month of the community is free. Like the first month of full access is free.
Yep.
And yeah, so basically an update to like pricing. Current thoughts, at least, are that the online community is $16 a month. I mentioned this to you already. After the second month, like after they've paid for this twice, they can